Well, good afternoon, Lauren. How are you doing today?
Hi, Jennifer. I'm good. I just want to say thanks for having me today. I'm looking forward to talking about how American Home Shield warranties can be beneficial not only to buyers and sellers, but agents too.
Yeah, I was really excited. We talked a few weeks ago, and I was actually busy, and I thought maybe I didn't have time for the phone call, but I asked a few questions from you, and you were so easy to talk to, quick with the responses, and you had my brain thinking, almost like a refreshing of home warranties in our field, right? And you brought some new things to light. Not that I never heard about it, but I think sometimes when you're in the business for a long time, things start to peter out in your mind. And I was really happy that you brought some new information to me. So we're going to share that today. But first, would you tell me and tell the audience a little bit more about American Home Shield and even just what home warranties are? What does that look like for a buyer or seller?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm Lauren Lester. I'm the market manager for American Home Shield in Tampa and the surrounding areas. So I will be your point of contact. If you have any warranty related questions, you can call me personally. I'll be happy to help. Just a quick note on American Home Shield, who we are. Not to brag, but we are the home warranty industry founders. We've been partners in home happiness for over 50 years. We're included in over 300,000 real estate transactions per year. We have 2 million members, and yes, we do pay our claims out. In fact, we paid more than 4 billion home claims in the last 7 years, and that's more than any other warranty company out there.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's great. If you're not familiar with home warranties and what they do, a home warranty is a yearly protection plan for your home systems and your appliances. I like to say we're not an insurance company or an emergency service, but we are here to help our members absorb the cost of repair and replacement on most of the major systems and appliances due to normal wear and tear. So, as we all know, it's not a matter of if something will break, it's a matter of when. And when it does happen, we want to be there to protect you.
Yeah. And tell me, I think a lot of buyers don't know that they are able to buy a home warranty, number one, when they're purchasing a new home. So, purchasing a new home is really that trigger for a buyer to be able to purchase a home warranty. But isn't there another factor that it doesn't actually have to be on the day or before the day of closing, that there is a little bit of buffer should they need a minute to decide or gather some information? Is that true?
Absolutely. So, we have a couple of different options out there. We can order the warranty before closing and we can invoice the title company so that you can pay for it at closing. We also have 90 days after closing to add on any warranty. So, yes, you're right. If you decide at first, maybe, hey, I don't need a warranty, and then you get into this home and you start to notice that, some things are getting a little older, or they're not working correctly, you have up to 90 days to add that coverage on.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, I think beneficial. I think a lot of buyers don't know that this is an option. And so you were telling me about how you can add on to a policy if you chose if the agents and the buyer and seller had agreed upon to a home warranty prior to closing, the seller actually could add on coverage for the seller while the transaction is going to completion. Is that true too?
That is true. So, yes, we do have an option for the buyer to purchase either before, during, or after closing. But we also, and a lot of agents don't know this, we can use the coverage, the home warranty, as a really great marketing tool. You can add this into the MLS. You can put a rider on your sign saying that you're offering the warranty. You can scream it from the rooftops, and it doesn't have to be paid until closing. So that's a great marketing tool. We also have an option to add on seller's coverage. It's $75. It's going to cover the same as our Shield Essential plan, which is going to cover the AC, the heating, the plumbing, the ductwork, and the electrical and the water heaters. And that's going to be a limit of 1,500. But what that's going to do is that's going to protect the seller during the listing and the inspection period. So, hey, if the AC happens to go out while the listing's on the market, all you have to do, call and make a claim. We'll send a vendor out to take a look at it.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it's kind of like as a seller, especially when you're trying to promote your listing and you're just trying to be really work with our buyers, give and let them have comfort in what they're buying. For $75, like you said, it's not insurance, it's not a magic pill necessarily for everything, but it for $75, it definitely could save the day. And you've definitely seen that, right?
Absolutely. I've seen that plenty of times during the listing period and unfortunately sometimes the day before closing. So it's a great option to have on there to protect the buyers, but to protect the sellers too.
Yeah. And tell me, how long have you been in the home warranty space? You knew a lot about everything.
So I have been with American Home Shield for just a few months now, but I was an agent prior and also a broker. So I have a lot of knowledge in the industry and I've been through a lot of the issues that agents are facing. So it's nice to be on this side and be able to offer a solution to some of the issues for my brokers and my agents.
Yeah, and I know as an agent myself, like I would not promote something that I didn't think had value, right? Because as an agent, why even waste your time, your breath or anything to say to someone, "Hey, this could be valuable if it wasn't." And so I really appreciate that. American Home Shield has been around a long time, as you mentioned, and over the years, I remember throughout the years, someone always coming to our office and bringing these wonderful brochures, which I loved. I would stick in my buyer packets. But I really wasn't familiar with the seller side too. So I'm looking forward to maybe getting some of those brochures and just having them ready for my sellers as well, just as an option. So in this space, in the home warranty space, what would an agent, what should they know or feel comfortable about saying? I think some agents today get inundated with calls to ask the agent to, use this as part of what you're doing, whether it's from a mortgage company, a title company, a home warranty company. There's all of these requests of these are things that you could use. And so as agents, we're trying to decipher what's the most valuable for my client, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that actually matters is how it benefits my client. So as an agent, what would you like to say to someone like me? Hey, if you've never used a home warranty before, this is what really you should know. Or even someone that's used a home warranty before, but it's been years. We want to refresh that thought process like we did with myself. What would you say?
Absolutely. And I could spend hours getting into the plans and what they cover and the limits on the plans. But what I really want you to take home is that I've heard so many great stories from other agents about how recommending and using these warranties has helped strengthen their relationship and their reputation with their clients. I mean, you know that you have families that save up all this money to get into a home. They have to come up with their down payment. They have to come up with closing costs, moving costs. And at the end of it, they're just completely tapped out, right? So then what happens in 2 weeks when the AC goes out? Instead of struggling to come up with thousands of dollars, they get to utilize this warranty. And if you have recommended this warranty, then you're the superhero, right? You're going to be top of mind. They're going to recommend you, and they're just going to be really happy with your service and the value that you brought to the transaction.
Yeah, and it sounds like, I mean, I don't know if cost changes with the size of the home, if it's a 1,000 square foot home versus a 4,000 square foot home. Do the prices change as the square footage, or is that not a factor?
So 5,000 square feet and below is going to be the same price.
Hmm.
Anything above that has a different price depending on the square footage. Our townhouses and condos and mobile homes are more cost effective than our single family homes. So yes, the pricing does change depending on what kind of home it is, what the square footage is. But for the most part, as you said, we have our flyers and our pricing is fairly consistent on those. And you can always go online to pro.ahs.com as an agent and you're able to do a quote there. So you can type in the address and it'll give you a quote on there before you place the order.
Yeah. And it makes sense. If a home is bigger, there's more plumbing, you might have more ACs, things of that nature. So it definitely makes sense. And I mean, from what I understand, it's fairly reasonable. I know prices could change, but just for the 5,000 square feet and under, a base number, base level. I know you have several levels, so obviously the more you go up in your levels of coverage, the more items would be covered. But just as a base, under 5,000 square feet, how much would a buyer expect to pay?
Okay, so for a single family home right now, our Shield Essential, which is our essential plan, that's going to cover your main components, but it's not going to cover your appliances. You can expect to pay 450
Oh,
for a
great.
year.
Yeah.
Our middle plan that is covering our appliances, and that's going to be around 650 for the year. And then our Shield Complete, which is our Mac Daddy coverage, most comprehensive coverage that we offer, that's going to be at 810 for the year at the
Yeah.
moment.
Those prices sound great. And it also brings another thing to light. If a seller wants to offer this as a incentive to a buyer, but also do the add-on for their coverage just for a little extra peace of mind, let's say they want to buy the base level, we'll call it your essential. But the buyer also has the choice. If the buyer says, thank you so much, seller, for this home warranty, I really appreciate it. And by the way, I want to upgrade. I'm going to go ahead and go to that max level or whatever that is. The buyer can just pay for the difference, correct? And still, in essence, get the credit from the seller, have the program, and then actually have a little bit more if they want.
Absolutely. So the great thing about ordering the warranty during the real estate transaction is that we can send the invoice over to title. They can put it on the seller's side or the buyer's side, or if the agent wants to pay for it.
Mhm.
So we can upgrade any of the plans at any time.
Yeah, so nothing out of pocket actually from the seller or the buyer, but you still have that peace of mind, that coverage.
Exactly. And that's why we love to tell our agents, like, hey, if you're farming out in a neighborhood and you want to get listings, offer a home warranty. Say, hey, if you list with me, I'll offer a home warranty. It's part of my marketing plan, right? It's no
Yeah,
money out
why
of
not?
pocket to the agent. I mean, they get to
Yeah.
put this in the MLS. They get to put the sign outside. They get to entice the buyers with the home warranty. And there's no cost out of pocket until it closes.
And at the end of the day, you have this, I guess, warm and fuzzy feeling for the what ifs. So I really love that. So how can agents and even buyers and sellers, because buyers and sellers don't have to wait until they have an agent. If this is something they just want to add into their checklist, right? If you're buying, they could just have your information, be ready to go. If a seller's thinking about selling but not yet ready, but again, it's just information. So buyers, sellers, and agents, what's the best way to reach you? I'll make sure to put your information in the link as well.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that. We do like the agents to be part of the home warranty process. We don't want you to be experts on the home warranty process because that's my job. But we do like to involve you because we think it brings value to you as an agent during the transaction and, of course, after the transaction. So you can
Mhm.
get those referrals. So, as you said, you're going to leave my contact information. Agents can contact me. We also have a portal that's pro.ahs.com where agents can create their account. They can go on there, they can do quotes, they can do the orders directly on there, or you can always call me at any time. I'm happy to answer any questions. I will put the order in for you. You can text me with the address and the name, and I'll be happy to do that for you.
Oh, that's wonderful concierge service.
Thanks.
That you know that you can literally pick up the phone and just help us agents out when we're going between houses, going between appointments, that this actually you can take over and get us all settled. I appreciate that. Um,
Absolutely.
well, you packed a punch with this information. I'm excited to share it with other agents in my company and just all agents in general. And I understand. So for the buyer and seller, we don't, that's not necessarily something that they'll pick up, the conversation, but really with the agents first. That way we make sure they're completely covered and they get the best service as possible. I understand. So, well, I would say this was a beautiful informational, session of, and I hope that we can maybe do another one as we go on throughout the rest of the year with more information, maybe even specifics as things come up. I'll be sure to get your pamphlets soon, and I'll be handing them out to my clients as well. And anything else you want to wrap up with?
I don't think so. I thank you so much for having me today. And I would love to meet with you again and go over our coverage and a new virtual chat app that we have on our top two plans. But I hope I've been able to provide you with some information today that you can use to better your business. And I thank you for your partnership. And I do look forward to working with you in the future.
Oh, Lauren, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I will talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks so much.